But then, as I began to place lower, that following began to shrink. Sure, the fans I had left were devoted, but I wanted more. I wanted to be immortal.
Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here. For a while now, a good chunk of you intellectuals have been requesting that I check out the old Disney Channel cartoon Fillmore. And my response to that is, why?
Because I'm black, isn't it?
For one reason or another, people love when non-white YouTubers talk about shows that heavily feature their ethnicity. I'd say shame on you guys, but honestly, I can't even act like I'm not an example of this. Tariq, where's your review on Static Shock? I just find it weird because Filmore doesn't seem like the kind of show I'd get a lot of requests for. Then again, I don't really know much about it. I know it's a cop parody about a serious black kid and a less serious goth girl? Oh, and I've seen the dry chicken clip. That's literally it. That's all I know. But fine. Why not? I need something to tie people over into the next Justice League video anyway, so let's take a look at the first episode of the show, Tamara Stall. The episode starts. Oh, before we get going, I should tell you all that while I usually try to go to an official source to get clips from, I have no idea where to find the show officially. It's not on Disney Plus, and if there's a DVD box set of it, I could not tell you where you can purchase it. I did manage to get secondhand footage though, so the review can go on, but if anyone is aware of an official place to watch this, I would greatly appreciate that knowledge. The episode starts in the... Oh wait, I guess I should talk about the intro, huh? Well, it does what an intro should, introduces the main characters as well as the atmosphere the show is going for. Oh, his last name is Fillmore. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm still gonna call him Fillmore. Actually, no, I'm gonna call him Phil. Because I'm lazy.
Meet a boy named Phil.
This intro isn't gonna make my top 10, I can tell you that much. There's a lot happening and good gravy does it go on for a while. Though I do really like the ending with the title and the silhouettes. That is legit, I would love a poster of that. Okay, the episode starts.
And now, Fillmore. Today's episode, tomorrow.
Shut up! I'm telling the story. The episode starts in the hall where the principal of the school is assisting with the reveal of newly renovated bathrooms.
If you'll follow me, I'll turn you over to the president of the ex-middle school bathroom steering committee, Robin Spencer.
Oh geez, so much just happened in that one sentence. First of all, it's nice to hear Wendy Malick as the principal. That's a very fitting voice. She's freaking everywhere, but it's weird because whenever I hear her voice, I can never remember the other stuff she's been in. IMDb?
My son is a boy.
No, this is a Disney show. I want a Disney reference.
Witches eating babies is so 1693.
One that I recognize, please.
As I said to you before, you may recall, Pacha is not here.
Thank you. Second, why does she say president like that?
President.
It sounds like someone assaulted her right at that moment, but she didn't want to make a scene, so she just kept talking.
I'll turn you over to the president of the ex-middle school bathroom steering committee.
Third, I can believe that schools would have steering committees run by students, but one specifically for bathrooms? Really? And lastly, why is the president of the ex-bathroom steering committee giving the presentation? Is there not a current bathroom steering committee?
By the time an ex-middle school student graduates, he or she will use the school bathroom facilities an average of 432 times.
And that's Mae Whitman. Wow, this show's starting out strong with the voice actors. Sorry, Avatar fans, but Katara is not a Disney reference.
I'll see you around, okay?
Also, Robin, ex-middle school student? You mean a high schooler?
Each and every one of ex-middle school's newly remodeled bathrooms, ex-middle school's, ex-middle school's, ex-middle school's...
Oh, they're not saying X as in former. The school is literally called X. Okay, I get it now. Robin gets to showing off the bathroom stalls. However, when she opens them up, she sees they've been vandalized. As a result, the safety patrol is called. Oh, okay, so we're just diving right into it. I thought the first episode would be an origin story, like how Phil or maybe even his partner got roped up into being in the safety patrol. Also, is that another mug in my cartoon middle school? I mean, at least this time it's for the sake of parody, but if I had a nickel for every time, speaking of parodies, the bathroom becomes quarantined in the same way a crime scene would.
Hey, can we get these motion sensors shut off before O'Farrell drowns me?
Oh, goodness, I can't keep stopping the review to point out voices that I recognize. Oh wait, yes I can, it's my show. Hi, Lauren Tom, aka the voice of, Alice Kane from Pepper Ann. Yeah, that iconic role.
Could you please stop referring to me in the third person? I'm standing right here.
Yeah, but she wasn't talking to you, so obviously she would use the third person. If that's a setup for a running gag, it was not done well. Also, thank you, random white boy, for being the first character whose voice I don't recognize. I do, however, immediately recognize the voice of Phil.
Stainless. Very catchy.
Yep, that's Orlando Brown. I'm not allowed to like him because of controversy, so boo! And the voice of his partner, Ingrid, is...
What about the tags themselves? The color, lettering style?
Tara Strong, whom I'm also not allowed to like because of controversy, so it's only fair I give her the same treatment. But I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't boo her. I separate art from artists and I love Tara's work way too much. Favoritism? Thy name is Shady. Phil and the rest of the safety patrol begin working on the case, and I really like how it's done. They start off with who had access, which turns out to be everyone, and immediately eliminate other known vandals. Though, me being nitpicky me, I've got to point out this one detail that they get wrong.
Stainless's weapons of choice are red, black, and green permanent markers.
No, they are not. Stainless exclusively use red markers. This mistake is going to cause problems later. Ingrid suggests they get an expert's opinion on the handwriting.
We could show them to Randall Julian. Randall the Vandal?
No way he helps us.
Fillmore, I'm new, remember? A little info, please.
First of all, that was some slightly clunky exposition to establish that Ingrid is new. Second, what is going on here? Ingrid, why is the inside of your hair the same color as your skin? Phil tells Ingrid of Randall's backstory. He was an art prodigy who eventually started tagging bathrooms with the quite frankly amazing alias Flava Sava. Actually, not gonna lie, Stainless is pretty good too. These kids got some style.
Randall Julian tagged every bathroom in the school except one.
You were the one that caught him, weren't you? Well, he should be thrilled to see you again.
I'll need you to check in all writing instruments. Mr. Randall Julian is in what we call a permanent state of detention. His classes are piped into him via closed-circuit TV.
What? That's not how detention works. I mean, yes, technically the definition of detention is the act of detaining something, but it's supposed to be outside of school hours. What you're describing is in-school suspension. Then again, ISS is primarily used to change behavior. Seems like this school has given up on doing that for Randall. But if that's the case, then you'd think they'd just expel the kid, and I'm looking way too into this, aren't I?
It took Mr. Julian 10 minutes to do this.
Hold up. He did that with a miniature golf pencil?
Describe something heinous, show the reaction of your characters, but don't actually show the deed, leaving how bad it is to the imagination of the audience. It's a cliche, but it works.
All right, class.
This school must be loaded. It can afford to upgrade multiple bathrooms with freaking bidets and a holding cell exclusively for one kid with an excessive drawing problem.
Uninspired, unemotional, uninteresting, unimportant.
Holy crap, I love this dude. At first, Randall doesn't care to help the patrol, even when they attempt to entice him with reduced sentencing. However, when Phil says he could have a second chance and reminds him of his glory days, he immediately opens up.
Stainless does his tags backwards, right to left. You can tell by the overlay of his letters.
So is Stainless into manga? Wait, no, I think I got it. If you write Stainless backwards, it spells Cielniats. Okay, never mind. I don't see where this is going. Randall claims he knows why Stainless is writing backwards, but instead of giving all the answers, he tells the patrols he could be tempted to help them more if they figure out this clue for themselves.
Why would an artist with Julian's talent turn to scrawling on bathroom walls?
If you want to see a real work of art, take a look at this. The 309 Waterman 452 Flex Rod 680.
It's very impressive how they managed to sneak in two foreshadows like that and made them both seem very natural.
Do some digging. Maybe someone has a grudge against this whole bathroom renovation project.
Oh man, she definitely did it. The thing about studying media is you start to pick up on tricks that are commonly used. Vallejo, that's the junior commissioner by the way, says that maybe someone out there might have a grudge, and then the scene immediately cuts to Robin. That's the show trying to use cinematography to clue the audience in on who did it. It made a verbal statement and then used visuals to support it. In a clever mystery, you don't usually catch things like that until a rewatch. The second thing is relevancy. Using Robin at the beginning to establish the mystery is just basic setup. But unless she plays a pivotal role in the story, story, showing her again is giving screen time to an unimportant character. This would mean the story must have some kind of plan for Robin, else it's wasting our time. Third, whenever a mystery introduces a random character that seemingly has nothing to do with the crime, but the story doesn't take the time to point out their innocence, there's a 70% chance they're the one who did it. Most mysteries want to show you the criminal without making you suspicious of them. And lastly, well, this moment comes after.
You know, I begged the committee to use brushed steel for stalls. It's a well-known fact that brushed steel is almost impossible to deface. But they had to ignore me.
Yeah, that's motive. Robin wants the highest tier bathrooms, but won't get them unless there's an active threat. Moments like this are usually why a culprit is brought into the story, so the audience can learn more about them. Ingrid finds files that show that an unpopular art club had their meeting room taken by the bathroom steering committee.
Disco. Artist with the grudge.
Dude just said disco. That's an interesting choice for a catchphrase. It's like they wanted to use bingo, but felt that was too generic, so they chose a word that sounded a lot like it. Ingrid and Phil go to interview the art club members, each one having a weird interpretation of both art and life.
You just see a dot, right? It's not just a dot. Know what I'm saying? It's 700 coats of black marker. Know what I'm saying?
Lars, is that you?
Let's get back to Stainless.
Oh, sure. He's in the spotlight getting all the headlines. Know what I'm saying?
Okay, now that's a catchphrase I can get behind. Later, the safety patrol get another clue to their culprit.
His red marker had to spring a leak, probably from the rear of the pen. Whoever Stainless is, there's a good chance he's walking around with a red marker stain somewhere on his hand or wrist.
Which would make the name Stainless ironic. Phil deduces that since the marker broke, Stainless will probably need to resupply. Sure enough, he and Ingrid catch a hooded figure trying to pilfer markers from the supply room. How big is the supply room? No, you can't. Why do I even bother? Phil manages to catch the culprit and take off his magical face-hiding hood.
Let's see who we got here.
Oh, would you look at that? It's Tommy, one of their prime suspects. And they captured him before the episode is even halfway over. This all seems completely legit. Tommy confesses to the crime, and the cinematography makes sure to show that, because he did, Robin is not getting the upgrade she wanted. This seems like it's going to be the end of things until Phil notices the color of the markers Tommy tried to steal.
Stainless would have been looking for a red refill. These markers are black.
Well, Phil, if you were paying attention to my complaints earlier, it was firmly established that Stainless uses red, green, and black markers. I mean, they did say that the reason Stainless wanted a refill was specifically because the red marker broke, but it wouldn't be odd for a person who uses black markers to try and steal more black markers.
You see what I got here? A signed confession from Tommy Howard.
He wanted to be known. Now he is.
Hard to believe a guy would smear his own name like that just to get some attention.
Smear. Crackers.
Ooh! Oh wait, she's white. She's allowed to say that.
Right-handed people don't have to worry about smearing it. Stainless is left-handed.
That's what Julian was telling us.
Ingrid and Phil ask for more help from Randall, hoping he'll tell them which target will be next. Randall, however, doesn't see any point to helping them when he's not getting anything out of it. Phil tempts him with some art supplies, saying he could be a real artist again, being able to work under supervision. After reminiscing about his art days and how he longed for lasting fame, Randall caves and gives the patrols their info.
Would you rather eat a 2-month-old mac and cheese or a spider meringue pie?
Gotta go with the vintage mac.
That's an easy one.
I really like these small character moments. They never feel like they intrude on the plot, and it's a good way to get to know the characters. Ingrid and Phil see another one of the art club members headed into the girls' bathroom, but when they catch him, it turns out he just has a guilty pleasure hobby of drawing toilets. Okay, but why did he go into the girls' bathroom? Like, this never gets explained. He clearly only did it so the story could have another red herring.
I was merely trying to capture the...
How on earth did Stainless do all that in the 30 seconds they were in the girls' room?
This is still wet.
What in the foot-long subs kind of bidet is that? Because Stainless is clearly still on the loose, the principal is heated at the safety patrol.
You don't have this stained hoodlum in custody by final bell. This headquarters will make a nice faculty yoga studio.
Don't they share that room with the Glee Club? Also, how will that solve anything? Even if they fail to catch this perpetrator, shutting the police force down won't get rid of them. It'll just allow more crime to happen. Oh wait, did I just make a political statement? I didn't mean to. Phil and Ingrid go back to Randall to get some more clues, but because of a pencil they dropped earlier when enticing him, he managed to escape.
I've got all the supplies I'm going to need. To ensure that this school never forgets me. But don't fret. I left you a parting gift.
You see what I see?
Robin Spencer is cutting that ribbon with her left hand.
And she's wearing a glove.
Okay, that's really good attention to detail. If you go back, you'll notice that Robin actually does do everything with her left hand, and she's been wearing that glove the entire time. Now, it doesn't really make any sense that she's wearing only one glove. In fact, it actually makes her look way more suspicious, but I didn't notice it, so I don't feel like I'm allowed to complain. Phil and Ingrid finally figure out Robin's motive.
What better way to prove the anti-graffiti stalls were necessary than to vandalize the bathrooms herself?
Bully for you. You're almost caught up to where I was an hour ago. Let's chat again in an hour when you've gotten to where I'm at now.
A stainless. As in the stainless steel stalls she wanted.
Again, really good stage name, and also good foreshadowing. Knowing she's the culprit, Ingrid and Phil go to confront Robin. Wait, what?
I think you couldn't handle it when your brushed steel stalls got shot down. I think you wanted to prove that anti-graffiti stalls were necessary. I think you became stainless.
Are you guys trying to manipulate a confession out of her? You have no proof.
You don't have a shred of proof.
We do now.
No, not really. That's evidence. It's not proof. Robin, no, why did you run? A mark on your hand is circumstantial evidence. All you have to do is say you were using red markers to do something else. They have no proof to the contrary. Robin tries to run from Phil, and once she loses him, guess what happens?
He starts monologuing.
This is just the beginning. Student council president, valedictorian, best dressed in the yearbook, the sky's the limit.
Robin almost manages to escape justice, but...
Vallejo's fishing rod.
Well, wasn't that lucky? I'm not even gonna complain though. The episode kept bringing up that doggone fishing rod, and not once did it feel out of place. Textbook Chekhov's gun.
What's going on? Tell me you got stainless.
Right here, Chief.
All right, well, that was a really good episode. I mean, we still got about 2 minutes left, but I'm going to say out loud and confidently that I doubt anything could happen in those 2 minutes that would drastically alter my opinion.
Hey, Julian.
Fillmore.
Oh yeah, I guess they gotta wrap up the Randall thing. Honestly, I'm shocked they're revisiting him. I figured he was gonna be the one that got away, or maybe a reoccurring character who shows up every now and again. So, how does Phil catch his leftover crook?
You were the only one who ever understood.
No, I don't understand. I don't understand how someone with your talent can just flush it away.
Show? What are you doing?
Anybody can scrawl a stall. But they still have a few of your macaroni collages hanging in the library. They still move people, man.
I was led to believe this was a silly show about kids being cops. What's going on?
Is that why the judges at the county art fair placed my art third? Placed my art honorable mention? This is beyond judgment. No one can ignore this.
Am I seeing heart? No cheesy action scenes, no jokes. Somebody wanted to teach a lesson, and my goodness gracious, they're doing a really good job.
Get attention any way you can, right or wrong. Then why don't you go ahead and write your real name? Because then everybody will know the score. There was this real artist who gave up touching some of the people to hurt all of the people. Because he forgot what real art was all about. Welcome back, Randall.
Guys, I'm not even joking. That scene moved me. It's been some time since I've seen such a good lesson taught in such an elegant way. The episode ends with Phil escorting Randall out of the bathroom, who plans on getting back into macaroni art. And that was Tamara Stahl. You intellectuals were right. Holy dongles, is this my type of show? I know I make jokes about bathroom committees and cells inside of schools, but in all honesty, I'm happy the show takes itself so seriously and fully leans into what it's parodying. It reminds me a lot of what Kim Possible did for the secret agent genre. And that ending, I'm not even sure I can put into words what that ending did to me, but it is my job to try. First off, the message itself. That is something that resonates with me hard. I've been there. I've been that guy who tried to seek out his potential but watched it slowly get worse and worse. In fact, I'd be willing to bet money that this is a very common occurrence. It's something that hurts to think about, that you might be past your prime. Not only that, but as an influencer, this is a perpetual fear for me. Do you know how common it is that YouTubers start off doing great, but then one day wake up and find themselves having fell off? And when that happens, it becomes a lot easier to justify doing awful things to get back what you've lost, especially if your identity relies on it. But I think what's more important than the actual message itself is how it's delivered. The way that last scene was written was so well crafted, it feels like it's out of place in what I thought was going to be a silly Disney cartoon. Understand there's plenty of media out there with morals to teach, but they don't all deliver their messages in the same way. That back and forth between Phil and Randall gave me similar vibes to something like Arcane. They made every word count. All in all, I'm extremely glad I checked this out, even if it is years later. Yes, I will be watching the rest of the show, and yes, I will be keeping my eye out for future potential reviews. Because as this episode demonstrated in more ways than one, just because something is past its heyday doesn't mean it can't continue to inspire people. This has been Shady Doorags. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.